And it says we are live. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean, can I adjust that a little bit? It's time for GotBot Goes Live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, and Molten, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor. All the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. So, of course, it's Thursday night. We have a lot to talk about. Wild King, for example. We also have... oh my goodness, what else? Newage, Cang TOys, Dr. Wu. We're going to talk about TFCon Chicago in October. We're going to touch on something there as well. We have this week's unboxing, which was a tease from last week. We also have, and we'll kick this off in a minute, we also have Barricade here, and this is the last night Barricade, but the real car is up for auction. We'll talk about that in a moment, and we're going to talk about Fans Hobby's take on this guy. This, of course, is Metal Hawk. Looks very much like his inner robot inside his Pretender shell. This was a Voyager that was released, but what Fans Hobby's doing with theirs, I think, is really, really interesting. A really interesting way to undertake doing I'll spit this out in a second. To undertake doing the... Do you think I can spit this out? No, sir. Pretender shell. There you go. Pretender shell. So let me go over here. I got to just adjust a lot there. Let's see who we got here. Hey, Ash. Hey, Blue Star. Marcus. Hey, Heathen. Hey, Lion. Hey, Mike. And we're going to kick things off, I think, this evening, because we don't have a ton of news. So I'm hoping that we can actually make some good time with the news, but we'll see how it goes. But we're going to kick things off with this. That's right, a Barricade. And this, of course, is the last night iteration of Barricade. This is now up up for auction. It is the exact Barricade that was used in the last night. It is a heavily modified Mustang from 2016. It has certification that was used in the movie. It has something signed by Michael Bay as well. And it has a grand total, in the 9 years that this car's been around, it has a grand total of only 800 miles. And the opening price, starting price for this auction is $490,000. I mean, cool and all, but guys, like, it's a car. I get that it's a heavily modified car and all this, but like, I'm very much to a point in my life where, like, I look at things and I think practically about them. Like, this is still just a car. It's still only going to get you from A to B. It's just going to do it really cool. So a hefty price tag for sure. Certainly a cool looking car. Obviously, it's been maintained and kept in impeccable condition. I believe Florida, if I'm not mistaken. But like, it looks great, right? It does. It looks really, really good. I don't need to go through all of those because I think we all have a pretty good idea of what Barricade looked like in the last night. Going up, we have a number of items for Cyberworld, new listings. These are on Amazon, I'm assuming .com. They include Bumblebee, Optimus, Skybite, Megatron, or the one that we were calling Mega Bull, but it's Megatron, Starscream, though there's no images apparently of Starscream, Snarl, and Grimlock. So if we kind of go through them, like, I look at this, and the immediate thought is, this looks like trash. But that said, I do feel like that this is a good go-between. I think this is better than Authentics. And I think this might be, even though there's no elbows, which I find so strange. Like, you could have done a ball joint, guys. Come on. But even besides that, I feel like that these are a good place for younger fans or a new generation to start. I think it's better than Authentics and that other, cheap junk. I do feel like this could be better than that. So, like, I look at Grim here and, like, Yeah, okay, so he has knees and, you know, he can put out his two arms like an action stance. There's his dino mode. Very simple. Obviously, he bends at the knees. The waist, I guess, turns a little bit. His head must go in. And then the two arms go out to the sides. It's simple, but it's a nice way for like kids to start. So I do see a value to Cyberworld in that. Do I think it's going to be for most mainline collectors? I doubt it. But I guess time will tell. Maybe. For me, I'm immediately out. No elbows. I'm out. That's, to me, that's a cardinal point of articulation. At the very least, you need full range at the hips, forward, back, and splits to the side. You need a knee, even if that's a ball joint. You need an elbow, even if that's a ball joint. And shoulders have to be able to rotate all the way around and T-pose. To me, that's the bare minimum. That's the basic necessity for articulation to be I don't want to say efficient, but acceptable, I suppose. Snarl looking very different from the way Snarl normally looks. I don't dislike the robot mode, but I get strong Junkion vibes from it. But then we have this. I notice as we go through these images that 95% of the transformations are the two arms becoming the front legs, I guess, and the two back legs bend up at the knee and kind of become the butt end of the guy. So it's not a lot of transformation here. It also looks like the head is kind of on the back and flips up over the robot mode head. It seems pretty basic. For a Steggy, I've seen better. I mean, I guess I've seen worse, but I've definitely seen better. This, of course, is the Megatron, right? The Mega Bull or whatever. I think that the robot mode looks cool. Dude needed elbows. But again, the exact information. You can see the part flipped up over the head. The arms are just straight down. I mean, his rhino, bull, whatever mode front is just his hands down in fists. And again, you'll notice bend at the knees, and his lower legs just make up like his butt end, basically, right? Optimus is a truck. A lot of hollowness on Optimus, man. Like a lot of hollowness. Look at the back of these legs. Like, dude's a pickup. I know the front still looks like a transport, though the grill isn't even painted in. But like, it's rough, man. That is some hollowness. Again, I mean, I think it's a step above Authentics, but this is very repetitive. I mean, here you have Skybite, and I looked at it, and I'm like, that's kind of Skybite. And then I'm like, why are there wheels on him? Like, that's weird that there's wheels on his legs, and then I notice wheels up, like, kind of under his arm, like in his armpits, basically. And then he's a shark on wheels, and like, what's that coming out of the top of it? What's that yellow thing? Like, I get that it's his claw, but like, I don't know. This is rough. I mean, if I saw this coming down the street at me, I'd be terrified. But I guess it's creative, but it's rough. Bumblebee. I mean, does this really look any better than like, remember that Little Legends class one that had no elbows, no knees that came out? Oh, in the Last Night and Age of Extinction. And it had like 11 or 12 uses and recolors, but it was always the same Little Legends B. This reminds me very much of that. I don't even know if this one has knees. It looks cheap. It comes off cheap. And not that that's a bad thing, but like, I don't know. This is a rough looking Bumblebee to me. I mean, I feel like that they're just assuming that Bumblebee is going to sell because it's Bumblebee. Then this is Galvatron. Like, I was hoping there was going to be more images of Galvatron than that, but I guess not. But like, this is Galvatron with like that Lemmy type of face, a la Shatterglass Hot Rod. I get the grays, the bluishy-ish colors, I guess. A lot of people seem to think that the bluey colors are more accurate than the actual purple. I don't know. I mean, I guess I get what they're going for, even with the things coming out of his blasters being orange. But like, I would if the package didn't say this was Galvatron, I would have never guessed it was Galvatron, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing, but like, I just wouldn't have guessed it's Galvatron. So, I don't know. I'm not really in for Cyberverse myself. If you are, like, cool and all that, but it's just not landing with me. That's all. And I guess I'll point this out as well since we're here. Earthspark, we have a couple of listings for the Smash Changers, Jawbreaker, and why am I having such time with this? There you go. Jawbreaker and Twitch. I mean, you can see here, very limited articulation, obviously. Cute little dino mode. But, like, am I going to call this good? No. Same with Twitch. Like, you know, my thoughts on this gimmicky junk. I would rather they do something like Cyberworld, even Authentics, than this. I see no value or merit to this. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it looks neat. I think it's a waste of cardboard for the packaging, a waste of plastic that could have been used for something better, a waste of research and development, time and money. And, like, we pay for all of this. We paid for the development of this. I personally, it offends me because I think that this is junk. Don't waste my hard-earned dollars on developing junk. I want you to develop good things, right? But that's just me. And before anybody says, like, it's for kids, kids again, and I've said this before, kids aren't dumb. They're kids. They know good from junk. They'll accept a certain measure of junk for sure. Like, they'd be cool, probably, most kids. I, as a kid, probably would have also been cool with Cyberworld. I would have griped that there were no elbows, but I would have got it past it because I'm a kid. I don't think I could get it past this. Even as a kid, I would not have wanted this. I would have said, this is trash. And I would have thrown it down and never touched it again. And, like, that was proven back in the day with, like, Ninja Turtles that had gimmicks. No, all of the G.I. Joes that came with, like, the water squirt color change nonsense. No, I didn't want any of that. None of that stuff. And then, like, I wasn't a lights and sound guy either. If you were cool, it's just, that's why that stuff doesn't land for me. It never did. Not as an adult, not as a kid. Now, let's just get back out of this. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to just scroll down, and then I'm going to check in with you here before we kind of take a closer look at Cang TOys Full Color Sludge. I was iffy about this guy when I was iffy about this sludge when he was first shown all gray. By the way, I didn't do my proper intro. It's your host, your most humble host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. I think I did all of that part, but I did not do the part after that I've started adding. If the stream drops, you know how this is going to go. I'll end this one, and I will pick it up with a part 2. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Since I've started wiring into the modem, it seems like it's working better. So fingers crossed it keeps working until our new internet is hooked up. They had to do something on the pole, and, like, the wire is still over there. It's just not hooked to the house. It's really weird. Anyway, let's scroll up and see what you guys are saying kind of before I go on there. I'm definitely going to skip over some stuff, so I apologize for that. Whoever designed the human face for that toy sucks at their job. Howdy, says Francis. Looks kind of like RID Super Prowl with the coloring. I could see that. 400,000. Oh no, 490,000. Seems I'm a little late. Just a little bit. Waspinator. Optimus Prime didn't cost that much. Anzac Day. I don't know what Anzac is, but lest we forget, I know. I'm assuming it's your version of our, like, Remembrance Day, right? So you know what? It's always good to remember those who have fought for freedom, basically. But it's the lest we forget that got me, right? It's a badass looking car, but I almost guarantee it's probably got a 4-cylinder engine in it, possibly. I kind of want that Grimlock. Then get that Grimlock, right? You know? I got Age of the Primes Megatrons last week, and I love him. What I tell you, line. When I've done the review, he's fabulous. Really, really fabulous. Hey, Anthony. I have done almost nothing of value today. I spent 10 minutes fighting the Target website to pre-order a Switch 2 at midnight. Mission accomplished, so now to wait. Also, pass on the NFL helmets. We'll talk about those. I'm passing on those too, even though one of the helmets is my team. For better or worse. To be fair, better than Authentics is a pretty low bar. Yes, it is. This is aimed at the post-Bluey age group. Hey, Manitoba. Yeah, sounds like Anthony had a pretty good day. Better than mine. Mine was not sitting around doing nothing. Hey, Albert. One of my favorite Hot Wheels as a kid was a Shark on Wheels. Still have it. Interesting. So that Sky might speak to somebody like you, right? Maybe the yellow thing is a flame. Like he's a hot rod. Maybe it could be like a flame, possibly, or a blast effect of some sort. Hey, Tetra. The Cyberworld stuff is better than this stuff. I'm assuming you mean the Smash Changer stuff, and yes, I do agree it is. Come on, G1 didn't have elbows. I know G1 didn't have elbows, and I complained about it as a kid. I didn't like it then. I've often said I see no point in going back and buying the G1 stuff. I don't want it. I didn't want it as a kid. I wanted what we have now. So I had the gripe when I was 5 that I have now at, 46, almost 47. So it never went away. I can specifically remember Afterburner in particular. And I was like, how I get that his knees can move forward because of the transformation, but why couldn't they just let the knees go back? Even if you didn't split the legs, you could have let the knees go back. And his arms were one solid piece. And I always thought, why couldn't they give him an elbow? All you had to do was put a screw, make this 2 parts, put a screw through it. Like, I thought that when I was 5. So, no, I don't think saying that is an excuse at all. But, I agree with you, but I don't think it was good enough 40 years ago either. Especially where we had G.I. Joe 40 years ago. The technology was there to do better articulation. They just didn't bother. Got a Megatronus over the weekend. Had to order it online, but totally worth it. He's fantastic. I'm waiting for my Megatronus. Got delayed. Listen, better late than never. Hey, Ken. Ken says he hopes things are going well with everyone, and I hope things are going well with everyone too. Gotta love when the cable company has to work the pole, right? Internet connection hacked by the squirrel. I know it's the Jets, right? It's not the Jets. No, it's not the Jets. Let's see. Should go down here a little bit. Hey, Maximal 10. Hey, Sovereign. And I think we're kind of caught up there now. So let's talk about this. And all the colors are there. Sludge is my favorite Dinobot. I don't like this. It's just, I'm looking at it from every angle, and there's literally nothing from any angle that makes me feel like this is Sludge. I don't even feel like the Dino mode is correct. I get that they did it as an Apatosaurus instead of a Brontosaurus, but it's just this is the combined part. I don't like it. I got to be honest. I don't like the way all of the tail and head hangs off the arms. I don't like it. If you do, cool. I respect that. I respect the detail in it, the sculpt work. I respect it as a robot, as a transforming robot, but as a Sludge, I hate it. I hate everything about it. I don't like one thing about this. As a Sludge fan, right? As a Transformer fan, like, it's neat, it's cool, it's wild to look at. But as a Sludge fan, I don't like anything at all about this. Which I guess is good, since I didn't go in on any of the Cang stuff. They're brave company. I'll give credit is due for being brave. It's not for me in any way, shape, or form. TFW is 25 years old, so cool if that's your thing. Then we saw some images from Mark Marr about Vortex here, and he mentioned how, like, you can take his rotors off. They're 5mm port, so, like, you can put them elsewhere. You can take the junk off the back of his arms. In other words, you can parts form a whole bunch of stuff. And then he gloats, and he's talking about how wonderful it is to have a helicopter that looks like this. And I agree, it's a great, solid-looking helicopter, very Blackout-esque. Can't remember if he looked like that in the show or not. Then he talks about how wonderful this arm is, and you put it on, and then when you do the thing, it splits them in two automatically. I have yet to get that to work on either arm of my Menasor. It does not work with drag strip at all, not my drag strip at all. I have to separate it first and then put it on the arm. If I move the arm because of the ratchet, both parts tend to fall off. They don't really stay on there very well. Same with the other arm being dead end. Is the other arm dead end? I think the other arm's dead end. Again, does not split. The gimmick does not work at all. I have to split it beforehand because the gimmick absolutely does not work on either one of my arms. That's one of the reasons. And again, if I move the arm forward because of how heavy the ratchets are, like dead end, just like drag strip, like the parts just fall off. They don't stay on. They wiggle off with the, I guess, the force of the ratchet. So I don't like this. I want to see Bruticus. I want to have Bruticus. I want to experience Bruticus, but I don't see it dethroning my Combiner Wars one. Now, my Combiner Wars one, I did custom work on. I have the shuttle blast off. I get the appeal of this. I know a lot of people like it, and they display well. But for like overall general use, playability, functionality, I don't find them as good as the Combiner Wars. I just don't. I guess this is okay. I guess it's neat. It's just, I don't know. It's not blowing me away. It's really not blowing me away. This method of doing combiners is not really landing with me either. I gotta be honest. I know it's landing with a lot of people, and I'm gonna give Bruticus a try because dude's my favorite Decepticon combiner. If for no other reason, his name, Bruticus. Like, it just sounds vicious. Plus, I believe that it would make sense for Onslaught to be done as a commander class. Like, seeing the Superion commander class, I'm like having to squint and tilt my head on the side. And I'm like, don't think so, guys. But at least I understand it with Onslaught. So I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think it should be gloating about it. Then we have KGBO by Killer Body. And this is Movie Rediscovery Project. It is from Revenge of the Fallen Wheelie as well as 07 Frenzy. I'm assuming these are meant to go like with MPM. I really do not know. But I guess it looks neat. I don't know why these don't want to. And they were showing off at some show in China. Like, to me, the size of this looks like it has to be like an MP thing, right? So, I don't know. Very detailed. You definitely have to be into the movie aesthetic for it, and they look like they're a fair size. As we get more details, I'm sure I will end up sharing those with you. I'll note this: United Way 5 Voyagers out in the UK. That would be the Tarn repack in United in particular. I also think that might be the same way with Ramjet, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Ramjet and Tarn. As we go up here, but that's in the UK. So if you're in the UK and you're looking for a Tarn or possibly a Ramjet, start checking around. What else do we have up here? Oh, HasLab Omega Prime finally started to ship. I know was it Australia? They got them early, or was it Australia, or was it somewhere in Asia? Anyway, now it looks like North America is starting to get their shipping notices as well. So if you went in on it, I hope you get your Omega Prime soon, if you don't have it already. The helmets. Okay, so this came up and somebody said, ... No A-Team, no Airwolf, but football helmets. ... Cool. ... I guess. Asterisk. Sigh. Asterisk. Period. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Now, I'm not angry at these. They're fine, right? They're fine. They're all the same mold, so I'm not going to show all the pictures. But we have the Kansas City Chiefs, and that guy's name is KC-59. What a creative name. Then we have the Cowboys. That's my team. Yes, I know. I know. It's like if you're a hockey fan and you're a fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? The Leafs haven't won. I'm not even a hockey fan. Even I know the Leafs haven't won the Cup since like since like 67. But they've done well through the season. They muck it up in the playoffs. I get it. Dallas is very much the same. But Dallas's lad, his name is Starblitz, which I think is a cool name. Pittsburgh, the Steelers, of course, and their dude's name is Steel Smash, which is pretty good. And I guess I should have done Green Bay before since the Steelers are on the end there. Green Bay, of course, the Packers. I like the Packers all right, too. Tundra Prime. Interesting name there for him. They all come with a football. The football on the side that you don't see must have a 5mm hole in it because if you look at their free hands, though the hands are fists, there's a 5mm peg coming off of the wrist. So they're all able to hold their footballs, I guess, if you wanted to do that. They turn into, of course, team helmets. I'm not against this, but this is much, to me, this is a lot like, you know, the masks that turn into the robots? Like they've done them for Transformers 1. They've done them for Rise of the Beast, right? Where it's, you know, the alt mode is a mask that you can wear, but then it's a robot, right? I feel like that these helmets are similar to that, except when they turn to a helmet, I'm sure it's just for a display of a helmet of your team, right? So I don't know, neat. They're all Autobots. I can tell you that. You can see the little Autobot logo in the center of each one. So they're all going to be some good lads and play some football. I'd want my quarterback to be Metroplex. Just saying. That's a heck of a quarterback. Just saying. And I want my offensive line to be all like, I don't know, like Grandis and Fort Max and Grand Max. Like put the biggest boys in there, right? Put the biggest boys in there. Though I think the cons actually have some bigger boys. I'm not getting these. I'm not a collabs, so it's not really for me. But if it's for you, cool. By the way, all of them. I guess I will show this. All of them, you can actually take their little like helmets off, right? And like you can act. Where is it? Yeah, like down here. Like, I think you can actually take some of their helmets off and show their face. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like they have helmets in robot mode that also come off. Maybe it is different head sculpts. I don't know. Newage, of course, done a Sunstreaker. Of course, Newage being Newage. They're doing color variants. Can you guess who this is? Yes, that's right. It's Corden, right? And like it looks fine. It looks great, actually. And like a whole bunch of Corden. We don't need to see that. And of course, if you're going to do Corden, you might as well do Spin Out. Why the heck not? Obviously, these are intended for like a Legends collector. Nothing against them. I think they're great. If you're in for the Legends class size offering for Corden and Spin Out, right? I mean, I have the deluxes that came out with the Earthrise Sunstreaker mold. I like them fine. I'm not really connected to the characters. I don't know if you are, but if you got a Legends collection and you like the New Age method of doing things, which I think is really, really good, why not add Corden and Spin Out as well? You know, why not? Why the heck not? And we will go back to this page here. And I'm just going to go down and I'm going to check in with you guys. I'm going to mention this. So Wild King episode 4 is up online. I did peruse it quickly with the Japanese audio, of course. So a lot of the story I really can't tell you. But I'm going to tell you this much. Never my wildest thoughts or dreams did I ever think I would see Optimus Prime riding a giraffe like a horsey. And that's exactly what you get in Wild King episode 4, right at the beginning. And I'm like, why is he riding this giraffe like a horsey? Dude turns into a truck. Just drive. That's not what he's doing. He's riding a giraffe. So, okay, whatever. 3-0 showed off their M Deluxe version of Red Alert. Naturally, this is a reuse of the M Deluxe Sideswipe. Makes perfect sense. I like that he actually has white thighs instead of red thighs. That's one thing about the Earthrise mold of this guy that bugs me because he should have white thighs. It's actually accurate. Like the look of this. Doesn't transform. M Deluxe is the, and I've said this before, the more affordable size for 3-0. This is, I don't know if it actually said the size of it. I don't see it there, but it's probably somewhere around 6 inches, 6.5 inches, something like that. Let's check in with you guys again, though, before I kind of go on from here. Let's see. I gotta go up here a little bit. Okay, let's pick it up from here. My Megatronus should be on the way between the great reviews and Primate and Souls being good. I'm looking forward to him. He's fabulous. He really, really is fabulous. Looks like a Gundam more than Sludge. Yeah, you're right. It does. It has the spikiness of a Gundam. That's a really good observation, actually, Matthew. Too many liberties in styling. A lot of people said that about the Predacons as well. I agree. It's not that it's bad, because it's not bad. There's obviously love in the design. It just doesn't. It's not Sludge. OG Dinos for me. Yeah, me too. Absolutely agree. Stupid family dinner. Just stopped in to say, hey, I'll catch the stream later. Enjoy your dinner, man. Give me some oversized Jin Bao. Why do all these third-party figures want to be extra spiky? The auto split kind of works, but if you want drag strip dead end to stay on, you have split first. Doesn't work at all. Not at all. Doesn't even work a little bit. Like if I do the way that the instructions say to do it, I'm going to break drag strip and I'm going to break dead end because it does not work. There is nothing that pushes in on anything enough to cause anything to split. I have to actually get a knife and stick it in the slot and then take them apart because whatever little tab they got doesn't even come close to going in far enough. Maybe something's misaligned inside, but like on both arms, it's enough. If that's the case, if it's misaligned on both arms, cool. But it's enough to completely turn me off from this method because I don't have those issues with my Combiner Wars, right? That's what it boils down to. I don't have the same issues. I will say this, the DNA design kit that Dragonfly sent me did tremendously help with that Menasor. Like he can actually stand up now without falling over because the feet are bigger. And mine did fall over. If yours didn't, cool, but I find him wildly top heavy. So I think he needed a lot of work, but so did the Combiner Wars. So I don't see either one as perfect, right? That's just my take of my experience. I like the skeletal version because it's not floppy like Combiner Wars. I don't find Combiner Wars remotely floppy. I find the skeletal version far more floppy and top heavy, and it just doesn't stay on. His clothes don't stay on. Like it's not. Let's stop calling them combiners because they're not. They're just a commander class putting on clothes, right? That's all it is, right? It's like putting on bits of armor. But if you prefer it, cool. I don't understand why people say Combiner Wars is floppy. I've animated them a ton. I don't know what sort of floppy issues you have. I don't have those issues. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I can't get behind this new method. I don't think it's good. I think QC must be in trash on the initial Legacy Stunticons. I've heard so many people have had, but mine have been fine. It's funny, I keep hearing the same thing from other people. The new combiners just don't feel like they live up to the Combiner Wars versions, even if they have more articulation. They absolutely don't have more articulation. They have the same articulation or less, but they don't have more. That's not true. These are my first opportunity to get combiners. I'm going all in on Superior. That's different. If this is your first go at it, and I've said this before, go in on them. Don't go back and try and get the Combiner Wars. Go in on the new ones and just make your life easier, right? Superior, Devastator, Bruticus, I got all three. I'm happy with the ones I got. But if you don't, then this is a great time to do it. And not for nothing. While I'm kind of saying I don't really like this skeleton system, don't get me wrong either. That doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean that it's just me talking about my experience with it, right? And I do think because Combiner Wars was a decade ago, I think revisiting combiners now is fine. I think doing them again is fine. I just prefer the previous method of doing them where they were actually combiners than the new method, which I find is top heavy, floppy, parts fall off every time you try and pose and move something. I can't get a dynamic pose because he just wants to topple over. If you can, cool. It's just, it doesn't work for me. That's all. Australia, New Zealand, I believe. I think they push shipping ahead. I cannot wrap my head around the official combiners. Why? Because War for Cybertron Jetfire sets the scale, and combiners being as tall as Jetfire doesn't fly with me. No, that would make sense. Jetfire would. I mean, Jetfire is a bit too big as a commander class. He should actually be about the height of the old leader class. That's actually about right. But Jetfire's so magnificent as a commander that, like, yeah, okay, that's cool. I can't. You keep saying the Jinbao oversize, but the Jinbao sizes don't do the trick. They're wildly too big. A combiner's nowhere close to the size of a Titan. Nowhere remotely close to the size of a Titan. So I don't know. I mean, do you, whatever works, but I can't get behind your reasoning there because the Jinbaos are just far too big. Far, far too big. I think the size is right. Or at least as right as you're going to get in the main line. But, I mean, you do you. It's your collection, right? I was thinking about getting Bruticus, but with tariffs, I'm not paying 100 just for Onslaught. That's cute. I love when people say they're not going to pay 100 for, like, just Onslaught and stuff. Like, you realize in Canada, we've been paying 140 since day one for Commander class, right? So, it's cute that you think that you're not paying 100. I think that said, I think that cost will be a lot more than 100. The whole like tariff thing, like you realize that's really only affecting America, right? Like the rest of us just aren't paying it. We're doing business with other countries and each other. It's not really a thing discussed too much here because people just aren't going to buy American products if you want to slap us with tariffs. It's as simple as that. Like you can say what you like about it, but like you do realize that there's 7.75 billion other people on the planet, right? Like we'll just go buy stuff from them. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. Can't wait to get your Chiefs Transformer. That's fair, man, if you're in on it. My bro would love an Eagles one. Now, these 4 are coming out, but my understanding is they are doing all the teams. So I would reckon that an Eagles one is going to come sooner or later. My boss, Patriots fan, like I can't see that they're not going to do the Pats. I can't see it. They look neat for what they are. My mother's a huge Bills fan, so if they do one, I assume they're going to do the Bills. Last time Leafs won the playoffs, it was pre-color TV. It was. You're right. Flag on the play. Only Green Bay would give their dude a prime name. I'm Aussie. Hockey's played on grass. That's fair. That's fair, buddy. Tom Brady, Obot. Oh, that's hilarious. I have a bad cough. That's brutal. Usually that gives you headaches and everything else. Hope you feel better, buddy. Hey, Jim. Hey, Dragonfly. Speaking of Dragonfly. Let's see. I'd like the Netflix Transformers show. The hardly ever, if at all, transform. I didn't mind the show, but like, were liberties taken to save money? Yeah, for sure. Too many liberties taken to save money? Yeah, probably. It should have been not Optimus. I'm a Packers fan. That's fair. I don't mind the Packers either, to be honest with you. Packers. I mean, Dallas is my team, but like, I don't mind the Packers. I don't mind Green Bay. I don't even mind the Patriots. I'm driving. This is his wife Jen texting. Fair enough. Eyes on the road. Eyes on the road. White ties. Going to have Slingshot and Air Raid in hand in about 40 minutes. Stoked. Cool. I mean, I don't know how you're getting that, but cool. I'd love to review them, Daryl. Just saying. I got to talk to you because you got a bunch of stuff I want to review. I'm not going in on them, but I'd love to review yours. Be careful when stabbing your When stabbing your combiners? Would be difficult to explain what happened in the ER. What? I don't get that. YOLOPARK Optimus came in 90%. I will stop buying Hasbro and go full on YOLOPARK. I mean, that's fair if you like model kits and if you don't mind them not transforming. I don't really like model kits and I want them to transform. But I absolutely understand how popular YOLOPARK has been. Hey, Caleb. See, Matthew just said, yes, Minosaur is wildly top heavy. I figured out making him stand, though. I don't need him to stand. I need to be able to articulate him for filming for stop motion. And if I make a slight move and he topples over, then it's no good to me. That's no good. That's not going to work. You know what? I've been able to move and didn't topple over on me? Combiner Wars, Minosaur. Say what you want about the Combiner Wars one, but at least you can articulate it and it doesn't fall apart. The Legacy one falls apart. Looks great on display. If that's your thing, cool. But if you need it to actually be functional and work, I don't think it's the way to go. But it does display great. Absolutely displays wonderful. Sticking with G1 Minosaur, there's an argument for that too. Hey, Blue. I don't have any Titans. That's fair too. Jetfire should have been a commanding leader like Siege. Get it? Yeah, I get it. I still think I want to get the NBK Devastator. I mean, the NBK Constructicons are great. The Devastator is okay, displays well. It's not the most solid thing in the world. I've reviewed it all. You can go check it out for yourself. My thoughts haven't changed. In my mind, Metroplex would be so huge that he wouldn't fit in my room. Yes, but that's ridiculous. That would be like that Lewin nonsense. And that thing's like 100 pounds and requires 2 people. Fact is, Titans being about 2 feet, I think that was chosen because it's huge by comparison, but at least at 2 feet, 1.5 to 2 feet, let's say, at least from 1.5 to 2 feet, like you can still manipulate it and use it, and it's functional. It's big, but it's still functional. I don't see the point in having something that's so large that it's not even really functional. You know, like it gets to a point where it goes from this makes sense to now this is just ridiculous, you know? To defend your Combiner Wars, guys, I can't wait to be in a position to say I'm happy with what I've got. Hasbro are slaying at the me at the moment. That's fair too. I was thinking about getting Siege Jetfire, but I may run out of space. One day. Most of us have already long run out of space, buddy. Some people need to get it through their skulls that America isn't indispensable to the rest of it. It's really not. Like, I'll say this. I know I have a lot of great American friends, and I always hear everybody saying, you know, USA #1. How? Please tell me by what metrics you're #1. And don't get me wrong. I ain't saying Canada's #1. Canada typically ranks between 3 and 5. You can Google it and look it up. I'm not lying, and I'm not making it up. I'm not saying we're #1 either, because we're not. Right? I'm not saying we're the leader of the free world, because we're not. That's Germany at the moment. I'm just saying, like, it's one thing to say something. It's another to have actual facts to back it up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The sooner, I think, and this isn't just true for America. This is true for Canada. This is true for the UK, for China, for Japan, for Russia, for every country on the planet. The sooner we all realize that we are part of the same overall global community, the same planet, and we have to get on the same page before we destroy ourselves. The sooner we realize that, the better off we'll be. Until then, everybody's saying, oh no, just keep drilling for oil because that's fine. Taking all of that out of the planet is not sustainable and it's not safe. And quite frankly, I can't imagine it's good for the welfare of the planet. Saying that, you know, these major global diseases don't exist. Yes, they do. And the globe is a lot smaller than you think it is. Everybody got to start a war with someone. Like, give it up. If people would just stop fighting, life would be a lot easier. It's as simple as that. Look at that idiot that I mentioned last week, that Neil guy. Do you know he continued his nonsense this week? It got to the point where I had to say, I don't even respect your right to exist on the planet. Like, that's how little worth I see in your existence. I don't think you should exist on the planet. If you say even one more word, I will block you because you're not even worth responding to, because your words hold zero value. And you know, he still had to talk and get on with nonsense and lies and foolishness. So I didn't say anything back. I blocked him. I would, and not for nothing, I've also had people in his state that know me say that they're keeping an eye out for him. So it's like, dude, you're not making friends even in your own state. You know, you attacked me, but you also attacked the entire fandom, making fun of Transformers, making fun of Transformers fans. People don't like that. It's as simple as that. Stop fighting. Maybe let people enjoy what they want to enjoy, right? Peace and taking care of the planet doesn't make you money. No, it doesn't. And ain't that just sad? I don't understand how people can act like they do sometimes, not only in America, but all types of people. I agree. And like, even the worst part is you get the few bad apples that spoil the whole bunch, because I've said many times that all of the flack right now that the US is getting, let's keep in mind that it's because of 77 million that voted the wrong way. That still leaves in that country, what, about 245 million, I'm sure, wonderful people. A lot of people that I know. But I'm never, ever going to forgive the 77 million for what they've inflicted on us. I'm never going to forgive one of them. I'm never going to respect one of them. I'm never going to see value in any of them. So the best thing to do is stay in my lane. I'll stay in yours. Right? Because nothing you say or do is going to change that. But to the 245 million that I think are wonderful people, man, GotBot got your back. Absolutely 100%. We're a speck of dust, but like Earth is a speck of dust, right? Like Earth is a speck of dust. Defective humans are everywhere. Everywhere. I have to visit the West. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Visited Calgary, the East. No, Calgary's West Coast, buddy. I'm East Coast. Ken, I'm East Coast. With the snow, smooth roads. Come to Newfoundland, Ken. I promise you're not going to drive on smooth roads here, buddy. Not at all. Even our paved roads, you'd be shocked. But we do have some beautiful hills and some beautiful scenery that amazes a lot of people. And if you come at the right time, you might even get some skiing in. I'm Southeast Coast. Okay. I appreciate that, Caleb. Okay, let's finish off our news here because I've been chit-chat with you guys. Good time. I don't need to, I don't think, go in. I mean, you guys know what he looks like here. It doesn't transform, so we don't have an alt mode to see. Charlie Adler, the voice of Trigger Happy, Silver Bolt, Borat, and 07 Starscream will be at TFCon Chicago in October. I hope everybody that goes to Chicago has a blast. I'd love to be able to get to a TFCon. I mean, everybody says, why don't you go to Toronto? I don't think you know how much airfare costs from Newfoundland to Toronto. It's prohibitive. We're going to do a moment of silence. I meant to do this at the beginning, but a moment of silence for David Schlinkofer. He passed away. Best know him in the Transformers community as the artist who did the iconic back of the 84 packaging with the Transformers fighting in space, a la their toy accurate look, especially that Optimus with his fist up, right? And his little tiny blaster. So we're going to do a moment of silence for David. We all know his work, and we've all been touched by it for the last 40 years. Okay, we will kind of continue on here now. These are blind bagged or blind packaged, and they're Zuru 5, whatever that is. They don't transform or anything. They're just tiny little figurines. This is Soundwave in his Authentics alt mode, Megatron in his robot mode, Megatron in his alt mode. No, he does not transform. They're two different packs, I guess. Bumblebee robot mode, Bumblebee car mode, two different ones. Also a gold version of that Bumblebee mold. Again, Optimus in robot mode, Optimus in truck mode. These are blind bags, so it's luck of the draw. Starscream in alt mode, no robot mode for Starscream. Wheeljack in alt mode, no robot mode. And of course, you already saw the Soundwave there at the beginning. The only robot modes are Optimus, Megatron, and Bumblebee. They're okay, but they're the Authentics design, so it is what it is. Fans hobby. Now, I can remember me and shout out to Transformers Talk Raw, me and Matthew, we went back and forth, and he said, I hate what they're doing with the Pretenders. If they don't have a shell, then they shouldn't do them. And I said, I know how much a shell would take up on a mold plate. I would rather it look like the inner robot or an amalgamation of the shell and the robot. Like Iguanus or Skullgrin, for example. But But I feel like a nice happy medium between actually doing an immobile shell, really, and just having the inner robot might be armor parts. So this is Fans Hobby's take on, you know, this lad, right? And I think it looks great. I really do. It's obviously MP scaled. The wings being off his back, I wish that they looked a little more incorporated from certain angles, but overall, I think he looks quite good. Bit hippie. His hips seem a little wide, but I mean, not bad. Before you say this looks plain, the blue is where it should be. The gold is where it should be. The red is exactly where it should be. Everything is accurate here. It's a really, really nice job. Now, that said, as we go through here, of course, you can see the way the wings are hinged on the back and whatnot. And yes, I do think this looks great. Here's what I really like. There's a chest piece. There are shin covers. There's a head helmet. It looks like shoulder pads as well. And an entire waist skirt, I guess, that goes around that doesn't hinder articulation. But now he looks like he's in his pretender shell. Love this. Love this. I think it's really, really cool the way that they pulled it off. Great looking plane mode. I like it. Fans Hobby have very successfully done a version of Metal Hawk. And if you don't know Metal Hawk was the leader of the Autobots in Super God Master Force before eventually Ginrai became the leader. But it was Metal Hawk. I'm pretty sure Metal Hawk still was commander of the Pretenders. Dr. Wu, version of Devastator, showed off images, and again, this is very early, of their long haul and hook. Hook, of course, becoming the upper chest, long haul becoming the tummy, hips, and thighs of Devastator. Each of these will have clock in at about 5.6 centimeters in height. The overall combiner, I mentioned this last week, will clock in at about 13 centimeters. Very small, very cute, clever little idea. I look forward to actually seeing more than the artwork when the time finally comes. And of course, this is a grayed out, blacked out image of the full combined mode in the end. I'm not sure about the space around these knees, but time will tell. I've got things from Dr. Wu, and I really like the materials they use, and I like the designs, so I kind of have high hopes for this. Earthspark Deluxes out in the US. There's a repack of Thrash. There's a repack of Optimus. The Deluxe Thrash, the Deluxe Optimus. So what's new in this wave? The Deluxe Sound Wave that turns into that really cool stealth jet, and Deluxe Terran hashtag. Not like the Japanese one. The shins, feet, lower legs, they've been reworked and retooled. I don't know if I'm going to get it. If I see it, cool. If I don't see it, I just won't get it. Simple as that. And for final kind of pictures here, YOLOPARK, AMK, G1, Bumblebee right here. This is just the AMK Pro Bumblebee done in G1 colors. You'll notice, though, that this is not AMK Pro. This is just AMK, which means no die cast, no LED lights, no extra accessories, all plastic. But a nice way to get that mold if you didn't, if you didn't particularly want all of the extra little bells and whistles, right? IDW Tarn looks good. It looks a lot like the Voyager Tarn, honestly. And Optimus. Again, this is not the AMK Pro. This is just the AMK. Same with Starscream here. The G1 Starscream is not the AMK Pro. It's just the AMK. Looks great. I mean, they all look good for what they are. I'm pretty sure. Let's see here now, but I'm pretty sure that's it for the news. It is. So I'm going to actually close that out, my friends. I'm going to give you guys the trivia right now as well. And we have the unboxing right here. I'm going to give the trivia. I'm going to check in with you guys. And then we'll do the unboxing and get out of here. Let's just make sure we got all the news covered before I actually get into the trivia. We talked about the YOLOPARK, G1 Optimus B and Starscream, and Tarn for that matter. the deluxe hashtag and Soundwave out in the US. They were seen, by the way, I didn't say this, they were seen at a Target in Nashua, Hampshire. I'm assuming that's somewhere in New Hampshire, I'm guessing. And at a Target on Bayou Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida. So two locations quite far apart. By the way, the Wave 2 Age of the Prime Deluxes showed up at other Ontario Walmarts. So far, the only places they've been seen have been various Ontario Walmarts. So we'll see if it goes out from there. We talked about the Doctor Who Hook and Long Haul. We talked about the 0-5 surprise packages with the robots or the alt modes. The Fans Hobby Metal Hawk. The 3-0 M Deluxe Red Alert. The Wild King episode 4, where Optimus rides a giraffe like a horsey. The Newage Coordinate Spin Out. Can't believe I'm even saying that sentence. Legacy United Turn in the UK. The KGBO by Killer Body, Frenzy and Wheelie, that I assume that's MP scaled, MPM scaled, I assume. I don't know. Vortex and the whole locking issue, Cang Sludge. The Smash Changers for Earthspark. The HasLab Omega Prime being shipped out to a ton of people. The NFL helmets. Barricade auction. And the Cyberworld stuff. This should be easy, I'm hoping. Who was the 6th Prime that Primus created? We know the first was Prima. We know that the last one was Optimus, right? The mysterious 13. But who was the 6th one he created? Was it Solus, A? Was it Nexus, B? Was it Onyx, C? Or was it Alchemist, D? Who was the 6th Prime Primus created? Solus, Nexus, Onyx, Alchemist. A, B, C, or D? Let's check in with you guys while you guys are doing the answers and see what it is that you are saying here. Let's see. We'll go up to about here-ish. We have the RIPs. I got my hands on the Licensees Bumblebees on card. I got my hands on the Licensees Bumblebee on card. The Earthrise repaint. Left one on card due to the Oh, the Retro Bee. Yeah, I saw a few of those around. Didn't see a Gears, but I saw the bees around. I like that yellow better than the Netflix yellow, to be honest with you. I wish his forearms had yellow on them. I probably would have actually gotten him. The full black arms, I was like, I'd have to paint the arms, so I left it. But you know what? Not a bad mold. I think it's better than the 86, personally. Yay, Zero, my local Kmart will actually get these. Well, then, enjoy. Guess who got an ad during a moment of silence? Oh, jeez. Those 5 surprises are the worst for packaging. More plastic in the packaging than the figure. I have buy pretty much everything online. That's too bad. It's always more rewarding to find it in store. I like what they've done with Pretenders. I like what they did with Pretenders too. I may not know much about Transformers Victory or Zone, but if they air the show on the good voice cast, I may consider that's what I got into Rise of the Shield Hero. I don't know what Rise of the Shield is, but I don't think they're going to redo them with a good English voice cast. I think you'd have to just read the subtitles. That's what the rest of us do. The proportions of the human shell and the look is great. I agree. Even got tapering down to the ankles. Yes. The little details. Like, I think that Fans Hobby knocked it out of the ballpark, honestly. I really do. I've not got third party yet. Keep getting some lock on the wall if I want to live, and the miss is not coming. That's fair, buddy. If you ever do, try Fans Hobby or MMC. Yeah, MMC is so good. MMC is expensive, but it's so good. So good. I forgot to mention, may run out of space on your shelf if I get Jetfire, but I can add Sentinel in the villain shelf. Well, then do what you got to do, I guess. I don't have enough space for Trypticon with my other Titans and that big old tail. When I got Trypticon, my wife was like, what are you going to do with this? She wanted to kick him over the stairs because she knew he couldn't just stand up straight like the rest because of his tail. But it managed to work. Managed to get it to work. I would suggest, if you want to kind of mitigate the tail, put the legs as straight as you can. Get him standing in as much of a straight pose as possible. It's not perfect, but it does help. I prefer AMK. I don't care for diecast or rusted paint. Fair. Let's see. Yes, Blue. Yeah, you would need a place of your own, buddy. YOLOPARK needs to make an AMK RC now. Can you give a little clarity on the poll question of the week? I'm not sure I understand correctly. I'm not sure what clarity you need. Let me give you an example. Knockout, right? G1 Knockout is a Micromaster that's part of the construction team. But I think most of us know Knockout as the Transformers Prime Medic. So he has surpassed, become more popular than his original counterpart. Or his original namesake, right? Because Knockout was used before Transformers Prime, right? Barricade. Barricade was a Micromaster. He was the cruel race car leader of the race car patrol. But I think most people know him now as a full-size police car transformer. So there's two examples of what that question means. Hope that helps. New Hampshire, I think, but my target still has TF1 Gimpacks. I don't know what that is. You found Legacy Armada Optimus for 160. Not bad. Not a bad price. You live in Australia, right? Not a bad price at all for him. Okay, so we're down here. Let's see. We have A, we have D, we have A, D, C, D, B. I wish the arms. What? I wish the firearms were too. I don't know what you mean by that, buddy. The answer, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Sovereign, explain what you mean by that about firearms too. Explain what you mean by that. The answer, a bunch of you got it, is D, Alchemist. Yes, Alchemist was the 6th Prime created. Cool, good for you guys. Alchemist, he sees double, meaning like the lenses and Apostle Paul. He was blinded as, I don't know what you're talking about with your Bible stuff again, but whatever. You do you, Blue, is all I can tell you, buddy. I agree it's more rewarding to find things in person, but it's not an option for me. And that's fair. That's fair. I mean, if I didn't live in the city, I'd have to do the same thing. So I understand. It's unfortunate, but I understand it. When is Wave 2 of Age of the Primes going to be out in the U.S.? I don't know when it's going to be out in the U.S. It's not supposed to come out here till like August, something like that. Wave 1 isn't supposed to come out till May, but it's starting to eke out now. But yeah, it's August, September. Actually, I want to say October. I want to say Wave 2 isn't due till October in Canada. So the fact that Walmart's getting it now is insane. Oh, forearms. Oh, forearms. Let me go back up. I wish the forearms were 2. Yeah, I hear you. Retro Beast forearms. Yes, I got you. It's not a huge deal. I still think it's a fine enough B. I still think it's better than the 86. I like the Autobot logo on the chest. I like the shade of yellow. I like everything from the waist down. He just needed to have yellow forearms. You know, for me. July, August is when Wave 2 is due in Australia. So it's either way, it's supposed to be the summer. It's not supposed to be yet. So far here, I know of one case of deluxes that went to one Walmart. That was the Wave 1. And I know there's only one fugitive Waspinator left from that one case. So like Wave 1 is just eking. And when I say eking out here now, I mean eking out. So let's do this. Yeah, Wave 2 is October for us, says Daryl. I thought that. So let's do this. The unboxing this week. So I've actually been waiting for this for right or wrong, good or bad, as it turns out, since, get this, about April of 2019. I know April of 2019 because that is when I reviewed the last member of this particular group and said then, man, we only have one to go. How long could it possibly take for us to get this one more in studio series? Well, apparently it took us another 6 years to get Hatchet. I know that Hatchet has had a whole lot of hate. And of course, here is Hatchet. I will admit right now, this tail does not like to stay in. These pieces on mine, generally they stay on. But I did do the transformation once where they came off. And in the review, I do actually take them off and show how to put them on. Actually, I think they actually come off going back from vehicle to the four-legged mode. But going from the four-legged mode to the vehicle, they've been fine. What I like about this is that when it's in its vehicle mode, along with the other three, like they all look very symmetrical. They all look the same. Even the panel lines are the same. The only differences really boil down to, is there a Decepticon logo on the door or not? Because two of them have it and two of them don't, right? I think Berserker has it. I want to say Crowbar has it. And I think Crankcase doesn't and Hatchet doesn't. But thank goodness the dreads are done. He will be tomorrow's review, Friday's review. Now, I'm not showing next week yet. I'm going to tell you now, I don't have a review for Tuesday as it stands. I have one thing currently in my possession to review that was sent to me that I never in a million years thought I would ever look at this, even though I think it's pretty cool. And we'll talk about that next Thursday. We'll do that review next Friday. If I do happen to get something to review on Tuesday, I guess we'll see what it is. If I don't be surprised. But don't worry, the countdown and the live show, that's still going to be fine, right? Your boy can't have something every week, every day. Wish I could, but can't do it all. That said, my friends, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member while you are at it. Hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. We talked some deep stuff about the state of the world. You have the power to make a difference in the world, whether you believe it or not. And personally, I look forward to the next time that we get together and have another visit right here inside the videos. Why can't I get out of here? Where's my thing gone? Oh, no. Normally I do that cutoff and I get out of here. This is the bane of two screens, folks. This is the bane of two screens. See you guys next week.